Garber, and Megillah teaches us, hang on in there. It all works out for the best. Rabbi Garber, we're very excited to have you with us.
Thank you so much. And again, to reflect the words we said so far, let's gather all the Jews, let's inspire each other. Very excited to be part of this wonderful platform once again. So I just want to point out, we know there's the expression, Mishanichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. When we come into the month of Adar, we increase our joy. The only problem is that how are we going to do that this year? We've had a bit of a problem. In fact, when we come to Purim, we're reminded that the whole COVID pandemic started at Purim. And we've now, sadly, ladies and gentlemen, been through a whole year under COVID. Every single festival is now we've had to cope with it, try to put it together. But now we come back to Adar, and we're meant to be Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg in Boca Raton in Miami points out, last Purim, we put on our masks. There we go. And since that last Purim, we have not taken them off. So how can we go into Adar and to the pinnacle, to Purim, in a sense of joy? So I'd like to share with you some ideas, and it's going to be based on the idea of a deeper understanding of Misha Nichnas Adar. When we enter the month of Adar, we increase in our joy. I'd like to start off with a story which was, again, over the pandemic, we've lost some great teachers. Most recently, we've lost Rabbi Abraham Twersky, who was a psychiatrist, a rabbi, an inspiring leader. I know many of us have read his books. In fact, in his life, he wrote over 80 books. In this little book here, he wrote many self-help books. He writes a beautiful story, a lesson that he learned, which I like to relate to Purim, from one of his clients. She was a recovering drug addict. She was suffering from lots of different types of anxieties. And she, in the course of her treatment, she told Dr. Twersky the following story, that she is a big American football fan, and she never missed a match. This is going back to the 1990s. One evening, she was going to be out of town, so she couldn't actually watch the match. She wouldn't be able to watch it on the television. So she asked her friend to record it on video cassettes. We remember what they were. And so the friend recorded this match. And when she got back from town, the friend gave over the video cassette and said, by the way, the New York Jets, your team, won. So she was a bit disappointed, but she watched the video anyway. As she was watching the video, she noticed that by half-time, they were 20 points down. And she reflected back to Dr. Twersky. Usually, at this point, I'll be plutzing. I'll go back and forth, pulling my hair out, raging in the fridge, going crazy. My team is losing. But then she knew that in the end, it was going to be okay. And when Rabbi Twersky heard this story, he related, and I like to relate it to Purim, because we know that we are ma'aminim, b'nei ma'aminim. We are believers, the children of believers, and we know deep in our hearts, everything works out for the best and things will be okay. On Thursday night, Friday, we're going to read the Megillah, and if you really get into the story, you might be plutzing what's going to happen to Esther and the Jewish people with this terrible decree, but we know in the end it's all going to work out. Similarly for us in our lives, it's going to work out as well. A Jew lives with faith, as Rabbi Taylor says, and also with optimism. I'd like to share a joke with which the chief rabbi, Rabbi Mervis, shared a couple of years ago. He spoke in Borehamwood, I believe, and he said as follows: what is the difference between a Jewish optimist and a Jewish pessimist? So a Jewish pessimist says things can't get any worse, and a Jewish optimist says yes, they can. The idea being is that's not really the Jewish optimist is that we understand that there is a plan. We have to hang on in there, and everything like the Megillah works out well. Let's go back to the idea. Let's finish off with this idea of Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. Two thoughts on this. When we enter Adar, it's a strange language, Misha Nichnas. Why not say Ba'adar, in Adar, Marbin Besimcha? We increase our joy. Misha Nichnas, when we enter, this is talking about an idea in modern psychology. It's called mindfulness, which is the idea, it's the spiritual pathway which the Jews have been teaching right from the beginning. We only live in the present. As the poem says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That is why it's the present. Misha Nichnas Adar, we have to enter the days, even the days of struggle, with tremendous faith. And furthermore, we see in the Megillah itself, and the crucial point when Esther calls the Jews, Lech kanoses kol hayudim, go and gather. The word kanos is from the word to enter. So the idea of mindfulness, being in the moment, appreciating God being there with you the whole time, is not just for you. Lech kanoses kol hayudim, go and gather all the Jews and empower all Jews, all human beings, to live in a sense of now with faith and with positivity. The second Peshat I want to share and finish off with is the idea Misha Nichnas Adar. When we enter Adar, the word Adar can be split into two parts. Aleph, which is Hashem, Dar, which means to live. Aleph Dar, when Hashem lives, when Misha Nichnas Adar, when we enter that mindset that Hashem lives with us, then we are Mar Bim Besimcha, we increase our joy. And as we know, the Megillah does not contain Hashem's name even once. However, Rabbi Daniel Gladstein, he gave a talk on Purim last year. He said, even though Hashem's name does not appear in the Megillah, but the name for Jewish people, Yehudim, appears many, many times. And the word Yehudi contains God's name. So, and we had in last week's Sedra, make for me a sanctuary and I dwell amongst them. The idea is that we are meant to epitomize Hashem and Hashem's positivity and Hashem's light in the world. So my take-home message for you is, brothers and sisters, let's keep the faith. We know that even though we might be 20 points down and at halfway, we know the story is all going to work out for the best. May we be able to live a mindful life, be in the present for ourselves and other people, and through doing so, we will truly be Malbim Besimcha. Wishing you all a good, healthy, and happy Yom Tov.